welcome everybody to another episode here on the K2 podcast on Monday, March 16th. I want to apologize. I'm running a little bit behind here. Had a little bit of a technical difficulty getting the stream started. But want to welcome you guys to the show. Kevin Mills, welcome to the chat, sir. Good to see you're back this week. So got really a lot to happen this week. We've had the coronavirus is just taking over the media. I don't even know if there's an election going on anymore because I haven't heard anything about the election going on. So we're down to two candidates, Biden and Bernie Sanders. I don't know what to say much more about that. However, definitely got a great segment prepared for you guys this evening. Got a bunch of different stuff to talk about. Some interesting videos, a whole whirlwind of stuff. We're definitely going to talk about the coronavirus. I know that everybody's kind of covering the coronavirus right now. It's kind of like just taking over the media. Everybody's kind of focused in on that. And maybe we're a little too focused, but I got some light content to share with everybody. Some fun stuff, some stuff that I hope will make you laugh, but also some informative stuff as well. So definitely looking forward to tonight's show. I did get some lighting, so if it seems a little bright, bear with me. I'm still working out some of the kinks to get the stream or the podcast 100% perfect. So I'll continue to work on that. Next week's stream is going to be really awesome. I'm going to have some cool graphics for you guys, a new overlay. The lights will look a lot better. So definitely some stuff to look forward to. First story that we're going to get into right off the bat. And it's going to be kind of interesting. But first story right off the back is going to be apparently, I don't know how true this is. Apparently, well, actually, I do know how true it is, and we'll get to that in just a minute. Apparently, they want to do a Miss Doubtfire reboot. I think Hollywood's running out of ideas here. There's movies and stuff like that they just need to leave alone, and I think Miss Doubtfire is one of those. It's got Robin Williams, rest in peace to him. However, some movies just shouldn't be touched. And then even the movies that I do see come out today, I feel as if they're just, the plots have already been done. They're not very exciting. And I feel like the cinemas as a whole has really went down the tank. And especially with the coronavirus going on, I don't even think you can get into a movie theater. Stocks are plummeting on the movie theaters, which we'll get to some of that in a little bit because that could be a great investment opportunity for you. Investing in some stocks right now that are really taking a hit during this time that I'm sure almost certain will bounce back, and you could really potentially make some quick gains. I think there will be a market correction at some point to where you can make a little dough. So getting into the Miss Doubtfire story, and it's kind of funny, but it says, so here the article, it looks like it's by a website called comicbook.com. It says, like so many popular TV and films of the 90s, Miss Doubtfire is getting a modern remake, but instead of streaming a series or movies, the new Miss Doubtfire will be a Broadway musical stage production. The role of Miss Doubtfire, a father cross-dressing as a nanny in order to see his estranged kids, was made iconic by the late Robin Williams. Stepping into the role for the stage version will be actor Rob McClure. The Good Fight and EW has the exclusive first look at Rob McClure as Miss Doubtfire. Obviously, nothing could ever replace Robin Williams, but McClure is giving it his best shot. So, I don't even know who this McClure guy is. I'm not sure if you guys do. I guess this is what he would look like during the musical. But I believe this musical has been put on hold due to the coronavirus. But also there was talk of a movie. So I know this is talking about the Broadway performance. However, this is referring to the actual movie, this is referring to the Broadway performance. However, there was talk of a movie where Kevin Hart was talking about being the lead actor for that role. However, here this headline by Digital Spy came out and said, no, Kevin Hart saying that he's shutting down the Miss Doubtfire reboot rumors. Looks like there's really is smoke without a doubt fire. Corny joke. As Kevin Hart has shut down rumors he would be remaking Chris Columbus classic Miss Doubtfire. While Hart is currently promoting another Williams remake of sorts with Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, he got the rumor mill rumbling by seeming to indicate that he wanted to tackle Miss Doubtfire too. However, after presumably feeling the backlash from legions of the angry 90s kids, Hart has taken to Twitter to debunk the whole sorry mess. So that I would have to say I would be probably one of those 90 kids who would be like, just leave the movie alone. Don't do it. It's a classic. There's some movies that are just classics, and they're just terrible right now. That they're just doing anything they can do to make a buck, and it's just I'm not really excited about the movie industry. But Kevin Hart tweeted, "This is completely false. I was asked if I could jump into Robin Williams' body and do one of his movies. Which one would it be? I said Miss Doubtfire. It was a hypothetical question, never said anything about a remake." So he's just going on to say, hey, it's not, I wouldn't do it, or I would like, if I could do a movie in Robin Williams' body, that would be the one to choose. Which, I mean, it is a great, great, great movie. But the thing with Kevin Hart. Sorry for the pause there. I was just thinking the thing with Kevin Hart. He's also been under a lot of fire here recently. Um, I know back when he was going to do the Oscars, he was canceled for some tweets that he made. And people give the president a hard time, but this guy Kevin Hart, he gets it. He gets it pretty tough too. And I tend to think the guy's pretty funny. But anyway, he stepped down and resigned from the Oscars because he made some comments that weren't too keen with the trans and gay community, which was my understanding. But recently, he's back under fire again. Recently, for getting coming on now, and this is the thing with this story here, because we'll get into this. He did a TV show. I mean, what's the name of the TV show? I think it'll tell us here in the article. It was I think it tells us in the article what TV show it was from, but I'm sure. I'm trying to think here. The show is it's called The Shop on HBO Sports Network. Sorry about that. Um, but if you read this is interesting, and I see Jamie Kirby in chat. Love how media twist things. They can definitely twist things. I'm gonna try to be straightforward as possible, and also not twist things. But I do want to provide my insight and take on exactly. What I think about certain situations in the news we read. But it says Kevin Hart slammed for comments he made to Lil Nas X on rapper coming out as gay. Now, if you're not familiar with Lil Nas X, he did the Old Town Road song. Hey Panini is his most recent one. The guy's got some catchy hits. My daughter, she's in absolute love with the Old Town Road song. That song comes on and she just goes bananas. She just loves that song. But it says Kevin Hart didn't learn from his past clearly, and I guess they're referring to the tweets that he made, which he ultimately stepped down from the Oscars. And it says, why they set up Lil Nas X like that, one Twitter user wrote. So it goes on to tell us about the situation. It says, Kevin Hart, who previously faced backlash over remarks deemed homophobic, is coming under fire for comments he made to Lil Nas X, as the rapper explained why he wanted to publicly come out as gay. In an episode of HBO Sports The Shop Uninterrupted, the rapper was asked about his coming out, which he did in a tweet on the last day of Pride Month. In June, as his song Old Town Road topped the country charts, the song stayed atop the Billboard Hot 100 list for a record smashing 19 weeks. Before Lil Nas X could offer an explanation, Hart chimed in to ask. He said he was gay. So what? And looks like it's done by NBC News. But it says the rapper, whose real name is Montero Lamar Hill, was then asked why he felt it was necessary to publicly reveal his sexuality. Lil Nas X told the group of men, which included Kevin Hart, athletes Rob Gronkowski, and Kevin Love. I'm not sure who Kevin Love is, but among others, that growing up, he was taught to hate homosexuality. Why are you growing up to hate it? Hart asked the rapper. Now, before we move forward, I want to say a couple things. First off, they say, why are you coming out as this? I don't think that's an out of line question. So they're already upset with Kevin Hart for even asking them about it. I don't understand why they're upset about it. If you want to ask the man about it and he's on an interview, which you're supposed to ask questions, why not? But I don't understand why they're upset about this. But Nas's response to Kevin Hart was, come on now. If you really from the hood, you know. And Lil Nas X responded referring to the stigma against homosexuality in the black community. I don't know if that's a stigma or not. I mean, I can't say that I've always lived a very privileged life. I've grew up in urban and situations, and I always felt like, if anything, that's where it was more prominent. But you know, I guess maybe it's not like that in every neighborhood. I'm not sure. But I can say that I don't understand why they're, getting upset at Kevin Hart for going after this guy on this. And he didn't really go after him. He's just asking him questions pertaining to it. And also, I got to say, it's kind of fishy. You're trying to keep your song up there, and you're just, are you doing it for attention? I don't know. I can't speak for the guy. It just seems kind of, I don't know, suspect. But it says the rapper then explained that he chose to come out because he was already at the top of his game and had nothing to gain from it. If you're doing this while you're at the top, you know it's for real, and showing it doesn't really matter, he said. I don't know if that's true. I mean, when you get to the top, you're going to want to try to stay at the top. But I don't know. I just kind of brought this up because Kevin Hart was, talking about the whole Miss Doubtfire reboot, and he's talking about, I guess it was kind of speculated, but you're talking about a man dressing up as a woman in a movie, and he's the one coming under fire for making alleged homosexual comments. I'm not sure if that's what you call. I don't understand. I'm not really sure, but we won't spend too much time on that. I just kind of wanted to touch base on it, and I don't know. It's just the whole story seems kind of weird. I don't know why they won't leave old Kevin Hart alone. But anyway, so talking about a little bit of stocks here. We'll get into some coronavirus stuff here in just a moment. So this is an article on the NASDAQ talking about a few stocks to buy. Now, these stocks I'm not necessarily saying I agree in. It's just a quote or an article here by NASDAQ, which will maybe give you some insight, maybe some things you didn't think about. But I feel like they're pretty obvious. We'll see. Johnson & Johnson is one that they recommend and is a good one to pick up during this time. It says may appear to be risky by given all the litigation it's facing, which they are under fire for a lot of stuff. I mean, you'd have to look. We wouldn't be able to fit it into the podcast to go over it all. But the company has recently had to deal with lawsuits relating to its vaginal mesh products in Australia, opioids in multiple states, and its talc baby powder products. And I'm sure you've all seen those commercials that if you've been affected by the talc baby powder, please call this lawyer or something along those lines. But it says, which are perhaps its most high-profile problems, its ongoing legal battles are far from over. Now, this company, yeah, they're going through legal battles, but I assure you, they've got buku money. Once it's all said and done, I don't think it'll affect them too much in the long run. But Johnson & Johnson, one that they're really recommending. Another one is FedEx, is another stock that could be attractive buy during this crash. Like Johnson and Johnson, it's a dividend stock. Those are always nice. Everybody likes to get a little bit of money back through their investment. And although it hasn't raised its payouts in more than a year, it does pay 65 cents every quarter, representing a 2.6% yield per year. It's also trading near its 52-week low and at a forward PE of less than 10. It's looking cheaper by the day. FedEx is a good bet during the coronavirus situation as COVID-19 continues to spread. There will be a demand for more deliveries as consumers look to avoid crowded stores. And trust me, those stores are crowded. That's where the freight and logistics company can benefit from an uptick in traffic, which could make for some strong quarters ahead. Online shopping plays a big role in the economy, and while there might be some short-term pain, for FedEx stock over the long term, it may recover a lot sooner than others will. And I tend to kind of agree with that. And the last one's Amazon. I think that's a very clear one. Even they kind of, kind of alluded to that with the FedEx one, saying everybody's going to need the shipments. Amazon, I do believe, uses FedEx. They use UPS. They use their own shipping service. They use USPS. I mean, they got the mailman running out here on Sundays to deliver these packages. So Amazon's a huge player, and even with the coronavirus, it's still trading a little bit under $2,000. It did recently, before all of this stuff went haywire. Amazon was over $2,000 a share. After coronavirus hit, it definitely went down. However, with all the buying that's going on, people don't want to leave their homes. The convenience of it, they're just buying everything through Amazon. I think once the dust settles, Amazon's going to come out as a huge player. According to the article here, it says Amazon is a good buy for similar reason. It doesn't pay a dividend, but the tech stock is near a 52-week low as well. It still has a high forward PE for more than 50, but that's not unusual for an online retailer, which investors typically value highly thanks to its growth. It's also doing its part to try and help battle for coronavirus, partnering with the Gates Foundation to help deliver test kits in the Seattle area. And they're doing much more than that. I know employees that are working there, if you do get the coronavirus, they're going to give you 2 weeks pay. You stay at home with your family. You don't have to worry about, vacation time or any of that stuff. They just go ahead, give you the 2 weeks pay, and have you stay at home. Amazon is a personal one I have in my portfolio. I invest in definitely a long-term investment. I wouldn't, if you're going to invest in Amazon, it's something that's going to definitely take quite a long time, but definitely something you should have in your portfolio. So some other things I wanted to get to. It says the Los Angeles Times, I read an article on there, reported the Dow Jones Industrial Average sank about 10%, about 2,300 points. The S&P's 500 index dropped about 9.5%, and the Nasdaq slid about 9.4%. All three indexes are now in a bear market, down substantially more than 20% from the record highs they set last month, and have wiped out most of the big run-up since President Trump's inauguration. The indexes started the day down sharply, then climbed back up somewhat after the Federal Reserve said it would step into the bond market to address highly unusual disruptions in the trading of Treasury securities, but then took a turn lower. So basically, they're just referring to the kind of roller coaster ride that the stocks have been up and down on. It's been haywire. I don't know if any of you invest, but I would strongly recommend building a portfolio. I personally use TD Ameritrade, but do your research, find one that suits you best. There's websites, I believe, or apps like Acorns, which will take your change from purchases and round it up and invest that change difference into stocks. There's a whole bunch of ways to be investing, and I definitely think you should be doing that. And Dennis Bradley in chat says, are you affiliated with any of these companies? No. I'm just trying to give people insight into what I use, what's most compatible for me. And then, you do your own research on what works best for you. Now, moving on, we're going to get into a little bit of coronavirus stuff here. Everybody knows sports are down for the count. NCAA canceling games. Now, they were the March Madness tournament, one of my favorite times of year. Everybody gets together, does a bracket. I was already, speculating who my picks were going to be. I was really pumped up for it. Then they say, well, we may have to cancel, and I got really depressed about it. I said, well, damn, that's a bummer. But they said, you know what, we're going to play and just not have any fans in the stadium. So I said, oh, we might have a chance here. I mean, it won't be as exciting. I feel like the fans and the crowd adds an element to it. You're just going to hear squeaking the whole time without any fans, just skeet, 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 the whole time. But nonetheless, I was kind of looking forward to it, but ultimately they decided to cancel it, which probably was the right move. I know there was a bunch of players who had reported not feeling well. Whether they actually had contracted the coronavirus or not, I'm not sure. I know the NBA had suspended the rest of their season until further notice. NHL has suspended their season for further notice. And I believe there's a player in the NBA, I think his name is Rudy Gobert, of the Jazz. He tested positive for the coronavirus. But here, I did want to just bring to attention that there is a few things. Mark Cuban, it says, has smartly identified the people most vulnerable to the NBA league suspension. He goes on here, quick little article for the win. Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban was caught on camera in real time having his reaction to finding out on his phone that the NBA has suspended its season after Rudy Gobert tested positive for coronavirus just ahead of tip-off at Wednesday Utah Jazz and Oklahoma City Thunder contest. He was shocked as everyone else, and in a subsequent ESPN interview, he spoke about how all of this went beyond basketball, which it'll certainly does, and we'll get into some of that later. I've got some interesting stuff to share with you guys. So it definitely goes beyond basketball and sports as a whole. But then he asked, what about all the people who work here on the hourly basis? And he said, well, we're going to put a program together for them. And ultimately, I believe he set up a program that provides his employees with pay. It says there are arena workers for security to concession workers and beyond, with no games played for now. They're going to lose out on a huge source of income. Of course, this is a problem that goes beyond sports, with workers who could face extended time without employment. So I believe what he did was he went in for all hourly employees. He's going to give them pay for like the next 4 or 5 games that would have taken place. They didn't actually take place, but he's still going to pay them nonetheless. So I thought that was cool for Mark Cuban. I know he kind of gets a tough rap, comes off as a hard ass a little bit. But one thing I want to get to on the coronavirus thing is what is going on with West Virginia. I don't know if you guys know, but I think as of now, last I checked, it could have changed within the last short bit here since I've checked. But when you look at the confirmed cases, every state's got a confirmed case except West Virginia. Some have speculated it's the moonshine. Some have speculated that they're just not going to get tested. Yeah, I've heard all kinds of crazy stories on that, but I just thought it was quite interesting to know that that's the only state that hasn't got it. Could it be, I know they have mountains there, that maybe the mountain air, I'm not sure. I can't really say what it is when it comes to West Virginia, but I just thought that was kind of interesting that nobody there has got it. We'll see if that changes in the shortcomings, because I'd like to know if they know what's going on. And Jamie Kirby in the chat says meth kills corona. You might be right. I don't know if they've done any studies to prove that. Sorry for the volume.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. The Chinese coronavirus epidemic.
All right, sorry. So I just want to get into a quick Tucker Carlson video here. we're going to hear what he has to say. We won't watch the whole video. Tucker can get the rambling, sometimes get a little out of whack. But I did want to kind of address a couple things here in his video. So let's take a look at this.
Epidemic turns out to be just that, an epidemic. There's no denying that now. According to the official count, this country has recorded more than 500 cases of the virus and suffered at least 24 deaths.
So you can definitely tell this was a little bit ago. At the article we just looked at, the numbers for this were definitely higher.
The real number is without question far higher than that. Soon we will have a better sense of just how much higher. By then, this epidemic will have caused economic damage whose effects may dog us for years. People you know will get sick. Some may die. This is real.
And that's definitely true. That's definitely, something to take seriously. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories going on about this. They're calling it the if someone in the chat knows what they were calling it, definitely put it in there. But they were just calling it all kinds of different names, saying like it's fake, it's not even a real virus. I definitely believe it's real. I think the more serious part about it is how people are reacting to the whole coronavirus. But I definitely don't believe this is some kind of conspiracy.
That's the point of this script, to tell you that you'll be forgiven if the whole thing snuck up on you as if from nowhere. An obscure virus arising from a meat market in eastern China to sicken American citizens in Oregon and New Hampshire and Illinois and Midtown Manhattan. It sounds ridiculous.
It does sound ridiculous. It's kind of strange here. But I want to get a little bit further into the video. He brings up some important topics that I think are being really blown out of proportion.
Some of our leaders helped us to take it seriously. On the left, you've heard them tell you that the real worry is that you might use the wrong word to describe what's happening to the country. It's racist, they're telling you, to blame the most racist nation in the world for the spread of this virus.
Now, I don't know for him to say that China is the most racist nation in the world. I don't know what evidence he has to support that. I don't think that's fair for Tucker to come out and say that. However, for the left to say it's racist to blame China is also very silly.
Right. Meanwhile, if we're being honest, the other side has not been especially helpful either. People you trust, people you probably voted for, have spent weeks minimizing what is clearly a very serious problem. It's just partisan politics, they say. Calm down. In the end, this is just like the flu, and people die from that every year. Coronavirus will pass, and when it does, we will feel foolish for worrying about it.
And so I personally, that's kind of how I feel about the situation. I feel like this will pass. Everybody just needs to relax, remain calm. It is a serious situation. People are going to get sick. Unfortunately, some people may die from this, or people have died from this. So it's definitely, it's nothing to celebrate by any means. But I do believe it will pass. It just takes time, and people need to stop panicking, freaking out, worrying to death, buying up all the damn toilet paper. It just doesn't make any sense. But I'm not going to watch too much more on Tucker. He gets carried away and really starts going in. But I just wanted to kind of touch base on the whole racist thing. I know it says that, the left is saying that it's racist to blame China. Well, it's been traced back to China. That's where it came from. I think what people are more referring to with that statement is, you see somebody from the Asian community that may cough, and then, it could turn into a situation. But I've got to say, I've been out in public. I've seen people interacting. I've seen Asians. I've seen people of all walks of life interacting with each other. And I haven't seen any racist comments or remarks made, or any. I think it's a ploy by the media. When you talk, Jamie in the chat earlier was talking about how the media twists things, and I think this is one of those things to keep that fire going. I don't see it as much. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I just don't see it. But the next video I want to get into is kind of hilarious. So there's this this cracks me up. I think you guys will enjoy this video here. Check this out. Oh man, you've got to see this.
garbage bags. My shoes and came and loose. 2 sacks. Another sack.
Fox 13's Jackie Massey is live at
This lady had we got to go back to that. Oh, a trash bag on her head, a mask that does not prevent coronavirus. This is one of those masks that it does not. It's still moisture can get through, and that's not one of the masks recommended for use. She had trash bags on her feet, which apparently have ripped completely off, or one of them has. Her foot is going right through it. It's hilarious, but let's keep watching here.
Is live at SCS headquarters. Jackie, you talked to concerned parents. What did they tell you?
And don't nobody want their child to be sick, and don't nobody want to take that virus to their house.
Parents with children.
So why is the attitude? I think we're going to get more into the story to find out why she may be upset. But why is that necessary? I don't think so.
At Treadwell Middle and elementary schools are not playing around. Many wiped their kids down, and some even sprayed them with disinfectant spray.
Now I want to show something. This guy is spraying his kid down with, I'm assuming, Lysol or something. Now I just want to say, I could be wrong here. If that kid's sick, spraying him down before he gets into the vehicle is not going to stop it. If it's on his clothes, I don't think that's going to stop it. Even if you spray him down, he's already probably, if it's on his clothes, if it's that close, he's probably already contracted it. There's no stopping it. So these people are just acting out of fear, I guess. I don't know. It's just I don't understand it. It's just bonkers to me. It's like my mind's blown. But let's keep seeing here.
Spray as they took them home Monday.
I wiped my shoes and backpack down when I got them out of school. Sure did. Gave them gloves. Sure did.
Parents are doing
She sure did.
this after they found out an employee who works at Treadwell Middle and Elementary came in contact with a person who tested positive for the coronavirus in Memphis.
So I guess that's why she's upset. So, there's an employee at the school who contracted the virus, and so she's upset. But I don't think, people aren't realizing until it's too late. It's not something that it's nothing it's not much you can really do except everybody want to be on lockdown? I mean, I don't know. Dennis Bradley in the chat, should I stop eating Chinese food? That seems kind of a silly question to ask. No, I would not say to stop eating Chinese food. Most of those people, unless they've recently traveled, are no different than the average citizen.
Some took more extreme measures.
2 garbage bags. My shoes and came and loose. 2 sacks. Another sack.
Leaders with the Shelby County Health Department say this is not necessary because it's a very low-risk situation for students. Health Director Elisa Haushalter says about 70 people came in contact with a patient who has coronavirus. Those people were quarantined at home but are not considered sick. She says most of those people live in Tennessee while a few live in Mississippi.
So I guess that's all I really wanted to share on that one. But I just thought it was funny how that lady was, full out gear in plastic bags. That was just mind-boggling to me. But another thing is, what's going on with the toilet paper issue? People are just buying up the toilet paper left and right. With no really explanation. I saw a couple of people, what do you call them? Reporters, I guess, and they were in the news, in the grocery stores. And what they would do is they were asking, hey, I noticed you got 6 bags of toilet paper, 6 bundles of toilet paper. Why are you buying so much? And they were like, nobody had an answer. Everybody was just, I don't know. Like, that's all they were doing. And it seemed like they had no answer for it. Now, a couple people have came up with some theories, and that's what we're going to get into next as to why people are buying up all this toilet paper. One theory is a thing called the zero risk bias. If you're not familiar with that, I know I had to do a little research on it myself, but zero risk bias is a tendency to prefer the complete elimination of a risk in a subpar event with alternative options produce a greater reduction in risk. Overall, it often manifests in cases where decision makers address problems concerning health, safety, and the environment. So that was one theory. That was what's called the zero risk bias. If you want more information on that, you can Google it and kind of check it out. It's in a lot of people. It just seems like they're what do you call it? They're just buying it all up for no reason. It makes no sense to me. There's another theory here. I got another quick article I'll pull up. It looks like there's a video here. We'll take a look at the video. This looks like it's coming from khou.com. KHOU 11.
And this question, why are people, of all things, hoarding toilet paper? Hand sanitizer we get, but toilet paper? Lauren Tallarico in the Upper Kirby tonight with a look at why store shelves are empty. Explain it, Lauren.
Len, you took the words right out of my mouth. Hand sanitizer, yeah, we get, but toilet paper?
Yeah, hand sanitizer, I totally agree. Now, of course, hand sanitizer, if you're not aware, using too much of it, eventually you become immune. And it has little zero to no effect. Now, I'm not a doctor or a health professional, so I don't have all the answers to that, and I'm not exactly sure how I don't know. We'll keep watching.
Don't get us wrong, you can definitely still find it. We just bought this pack today, but stores are constantly having to restock. Here's why.
It's trending online.
Toilet paper aisle? Absolutely.
So I guess they're saying because, they're seeing everybody talk about it online. It's kind of like when one person jumps off of a cliff into the water down below, it's always that first person to take a leap, and then that person before them sees them do it. So it's just this domino effect, and they think, oh, well, that person did it, I should do it as well. Silly, but, you'd be surprised how many people just like, oh, I got to get some too.
None left.
Hashtag toilet paper apocalypse, turning the stockpiling of TP into the butt of internet jokes. Stores like Costco's have even put limits on how many rolls you can.
It's a shame they had to put limits. I don't understand why people couldn't just, like, they're acting like they're really going to be... I mean, like, this is a real apocalypse. It's crazy. I know a bunch of celebrities have also contracted the virus. Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson. Rudy Gobert from Utah Jazz, which we talked about a little earlier. Also, Canadian Prime Minister's wife, her name's Sophie Trudeau, announced she had a positive diagnosis. So it's been just a whirlwind of stuff going on. Everybody seems to be either buying toilet paper or already sick. Next thing that I wanted to get into is kind of more of a lighter story, something a little kind of interesting, something funny here that hopefully we could all take a little laugh at. It says students suspended from school for selling squirts of hand sanitizer to classmates. Now, you got to give it to the man. He's a hustler. I know a few people back in my day that would do things like sell candy, put them in like little bags at school, and try to sell them for a couple of bucks. It says here, some people have taken advantage of people's anxiety for a quick buck. Now, that seems like a harsh line for just a kid selling squirts of hand sanitizer. He's not out there selling, like, I don't even know, like something more important, like maybe like toilet paper. I don't know. Like, these people are, why don't they go after those people? Well, it does say some people have taken advantage, but I don't know why they had to associate that with this little kid. It says one teenager in the UK who was sent home from school for the day for selling squirts of hand sanitizer to his friends at Dixon's Unity Academy in Leeds. Why'd they have to send him home? They didn't have to send him home. Just tell them, hey, look, man, you can't be selling hand sanitizer squirts. And I don't even know why he can't do it. I mean, as long as it's not disrupting class, he wants to do it on recess or whatever at lunchtime, man, so be it. But I just thought that was an interesting story. This one isn't quite as, this one is a woman who actually contracted the virus. She kind of goes in to say what her experience has been and her advice. Now, I believe there was a video here. It looks like the video may have been removed since the last time that I've looked at it. Let's see. Well, it's just the two pictures here. Well, we'll take a look at the article and basically go on. It says an American woman who has recovered from the novel coronavirus has a simple message for people who are worried. Don't panic, but do think about high-risk individuals and stay home if you feel ill. Elizabeth Schneider lives in Seattle, the biggest city of Washington state, which has the most deaths in the United States from the disease sweeping the globe. The 37-year-old who has a PhD in bioengineering said she was sharing her story to give people a little bit of hope. Though her own relatively mild experience with the infection, which she treated herself from home, so she's treated this herself, so she claims, so I almost want to question whether she actually got the virus, because if she's treating it, did she go to the doctor and they say, yes, you've been confirmed with coronavirus, and she turned down his recommendations and offers were? I'm not sure. But she added, obviously, it's not something to be completely nonchalant about, but there's a lot of people who are elderly and have underlying health conditions. That means that we need to be extra vigilant about staying home and isolating yourself from others, which I think is a great point. But everybody wants to buy all the toilet paper up and just go. I mean, there's no food on the shelves. They're acting like they think they're going to die tomorrow. I mean, the coronavirus is not what's scaring me. The scary part is how everybody's acting. If we were ever in a situation where the world was coming to an end, which it very well could be, oh man, could you imagine the madness? Because this is just a glimpse into it. Like, this is just a glimpse. If the world were really ending, oh, it would be haywire. But check out this video. You want to talk about the toilet paper stuff? I know that, the toilet paper, how long can we go on it, right? Well, apparently it's just nonstop. It just won't stop. People are just buying it up. It makes no sense to me. So there's a video here that I came across called The Amazing Race, and it looks like it's at a Costco or something of some sort. Let's see if we could see if the video will play here. Let's see if I got some audio for you.
It takes them to get through. And here they come.
So you see this horde of people coming around the corner with carts. I mean, they're hauling ass. The Amazing Race toilet paper edition. So they're racing. Now they're all smiling, laughing, giggles. Let's see if it stays that way, folks.
They open the door for her.
I'm just skipping through here to actually see what they get. Look at this. Look at these people filling up the carts, which is so much. It makes no sense. Why do you need that much toilet paper?
I
mean, hordes of people lined up with their carts.
This is nuts.
I mean, they're running. One of those big bundles would probably last you. Just maybe one big bundle. And you probably have some for the rest of the month and a half. I mean, I don't know. I guess some households are bigger than others. But, jeez. It's just mind-boggling to me. There's so much crazy stuff going on. I know some people I saw some stories on Reddit, people saying to drink bleach. Please don't drink bleach. Please do not drink bleach. It will not prevent the coronavirus. You can look that up on the Poison Control Center's website. It also states do not drink bleach because people have been recommending it. But one thing that's kind of scary, this is true and scary story. This is a story by the Washington Post. Iran apparently has been digging trenches, burial pits, if you call them that, and so big they're vast from space. I guess these are the satellite images here. I don't know how well you guys can see that on the screen, but apparently these are trenches that they're digging, and this is reported by Washington Post. It says 2 days after Iran declared its first case of the novel coronavirus and what will become one of the largest outbreaks of the illness outside of China, evidence of unusual activity appeared at a cemetery near where the infections emerged. I feel like that's just scary to me. They're getting, I mean, I don't know if that's an overreaction or not. I mean, burial pits? It says they dug 2 large trenches totaling 100 yards in length, so that's the size of a football field, in the previous unused area of the cemetery. I don't know what they're expecting. Like, people are just savage. Are they thinking no one has family or friends that would want to deal with I don't know. It's crazy. Jamie Kirby in the chat says we bought a pack and haven't even opened it yet. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And none of those people, they're going to have toilet paper for the next 3 years. Which maybe is not a bad thing, but if you did, if you're one of those people that would do that in advance, then I don't think you would be having to struggle or worry about it. I don't know. It's strange. But we're coming up on the end of the podcast here, guys. I got a couple more quick stories I want to share for you. I know we got started a little late. If you're in here in Virginia, marijuana has been decriminalized in Virginia. It says Virginia lawmakers vote to decriminalize marijuana, set to a $25 civil penalty for possession. This is reported by NBC 12, a local news station in Virginia. Possession of small amounts of marijuana will no longer be punishable by jail time in Virginia under decriminalization legislation. Lawmakers sent to Governor Ralph Northam on Sunday. So they're saying it's similar to a traffic ticket. Just something I figured I would bring up. It seems like it's something that's kind of sweeping the nation. Everybody's gonna, I think won't be long before it's available in all 50 states, whether it's decriminalized or completely legal for recreational use. Excuse me. So I just thought that was a local story I would bring some attention to. Next, this is totally unrelated to coronavirus. I got Corona, but it's a beer, not the official coronavirus. Just a moment. So, and I'm not affiliated with Corona in any type of way. But it's a good beer. Although I have heard their stocks have taken a huge plummet because, again, the same people that are buying up all this toilet paper, some actually believe that the coronavirus is somehow connected to the Corona beer. If you don't believe it, you can look it up. Their shares, Corona shares have really took a hit. In times like these, you would think, beer and stuff like that would kind of go up just because people are at home more relaxing. Maybe they got the work week off. They're finally trying to recover, or maybe they just don't want to go out and get sick. They're not sick. They just want to stay home and kind of quarantine themselves from getting sick. So you would think beer would be up, but no, Corona's been taking a huge hit. And I guess it's the same people who also believe, what is it called, that chocolate milk comes from brown cows. Look it up. I mean, you think I'm not making this stuff up. Not making this stuff up. But it says, this next video is a man training his daughter. I just thought this video was weird. I want to get you guys' opinion on it. Maybe just take a watch at it here, because I'm a father myself. But this particular video, I don't know. It just kind of, I'm not sure how what I think about it yet. I'm going to watch with you guys, see if we can kind of come to some kind of conclusion on it. Let's cut the audio on, sorry.
What kind of round are you in now?
Just giving her bullets, asking her to name the rounds.
What kind of round are you in?
380.
What kind of round are you in now?
45.
What kind of round are you in now?
22.
Miss Grace, if you want to give jobs to our family and friends, what is that called?
I don't know if this is memorization. Maybe he gives her the same bullets every time and she just remembers it. I'm not knocking the little girl. If she does in fact know those, that's pretty cool. I don't know how I feel about giving my young daughter I believe that it's definitely a conversation that could be had, should be had, about protecting yourself. Firearms is a great thing. I'm definitely in support of that, but it's a little girl. Don't they let her be a kid? You know, is she gonna have easy access to a weapon? I don't even think that she's permitted to handle one of those. I think, I believe Kevin Mills in the chat. He hunted for a while. I know, I think you can own a rifle at 16 or something. Maybe he can tell me a little bit more about that. But I don't even know if she's able to handle a weapon. So I'm not sure why you feel the need to. I'm not saying it's not good to involve your kids and, you know, educate them and talk to them about this stuff, but this seems a little excessive to me.
If you have a bunch of friends who don't do shit, are they an asset or a liability?
A liability.
How many?
You have a bunch of friends who don't do shit, are they an asset or liability? This is all. I'm not knocking the information, but the way he's conveying it to his daughter with the gun, you know, trying to do the triggers. I don't know. It just let her be a kid. It's a little girl.
How many people on the registered sex offender list?
750.
Why does she need to know that? I mean, don't get me wrong. Be aware, but she's a child. What is she gonna She knows. I don't know. Am I wrong? I don't understand. I feel like this is kind of excessive.
1,000.
Daddy taught you that you were a goddess, so you can never be anybody's what?
Bitch or hoe.
So he's got her saying bitch or hoe. I mean, I don't know. I feel so conflicted on this because I feel like it's not necessarily a terrible thing. I mean, I don't feel like it's totally a bad thing, but I just think the way it's being delivered is off.
Remove your blindfold. Who is Huey P. Newton?
An African political activist, a revolutionary who, along with Bob Seale, co-founded the Black Panther Party in 1966.
Who's coming to save you?
Nobody. I have to save myself.
And if I die today, then what's your job?
To pick up where you left off and take care of my siblings.
Good job.
So, I mean, one, the guy's being present in his daughter's life. You can't knock that, right? But it's just strange. It's just a weird video to me. I'm not sure why he felt the need to do all that with his daughter. I'm not saying it's not important information. I think the delivery is just wrong. I don't know. But another video I wanted to get into is, let's see if it pulls up here. So for what I know, for some reason it doesn't look like it wants to work properly. Hold on, I think I got it here. So this is a Chick-fil-A employee, and I just wanted to give kudos out to Chick-fil-A because God's chicken is great. I love it. But they're doing pretty good. I know for the coronavirus they've shut down their lobbies, and I don't know if that's all locations. I guess it depends on what state you're from or what location, but it appears that most of them are just only doing drive-through only right now. Also, they're offering free lunch to kids who are typically wouldn't have a meal. If you and this may not be all locations, so you want to check your local Chick-fil-A's website or call into the store and ask them. But I know certain kids rely on school lunch that they receive for free, and they're offering those lunches to those kids that may have gone without. So I thought that's great on Chick-fil-A. They're a great company. I think Chick-fil-A speaks for itself. I think everybody knows that, but the title here says, a grown man berates and belittles a Chick-fil-A employee, and her response to him is why Chick-fil-A is the Lord's chicken. Let's take a watch of this video.
Free water?
It is.
Awesome. You know why I'm getting the free water, right?
I do not.
Because Chick-fil-A...
Look at her. She seems happy. You know, he's like, I'm coming to get a free water. First off, he drives through, gets just a water. You're not buying anything. You just came through just to get a water. Which in a situation where you gotta have, maybe I understand it, but you're already disrupting.
It is a hateful corporation.
I disagree. I wouldn't
I know,
we
but
don't treat any of our customers differently. We don't.
I know, but but the corporation gives money to hate groups. Hate groups.
Which she has nothing to do with. Okay? She's there. She looks fairly young. She's probably in college and maybe a senior in high school at the youngest, but probably in college, trying to work her way through. Chick-fil-A, great reputation, great company to work for. I once worked there when I was younger. I'm no way affiliated with Chick-fil-A, but I just wanted to say that I had a good experience as an employee there. I felt I was treated fairly. They gave us free meals on lunch. It was nothing but I have nothing but good things to say about Chick-fil-A. So it's not a bad place to work, regardless of what this guy says.
Just because people want to kiss another guy. Sorry?
And it's not because a guy wants to kiss another guy. It's much more than that. Not to say that it's right or wrong. I'm not arguing to one way or the other. All I'm saying is don't play it down and say, oh, just because another dude wants to kiss another dude, that's why your company, is a terrible company to work for because they spoke out against it, which I think, I could be wrong on this, I think they've recently spoke out going back on that and saying, you know what, maybe we may, and I don't even know if they've released a statement regarding it, but I just think they're being a little too hard on Chick-fil-A, but let's see.
I have to stay neutral on the subject. My personal beliefs should be in the workplace.
Yeah, I believe that too. I don't believe corporations should be giving money to hateful groups. Totally understand. I'll take my water.
Okay. It's my pleasure to serve you always.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm glad that I can take a little bit of money from Chick-fil-A and maybe less money to hate groups.
That's tap water, buddy. I don't think you took anything but maybe the styrofoam cup and straw and lid. And maybe a little bit of the workers' time, but those dang on Chick-fil-A employees work so damn quick. I shouldn't cuss while I'm talking about the Lord's Chicken. But they work so quick. Those lines move like that. This guy didn't. I don't think you wasted any of their money, buddy. It's just quite disrespectful, in my opinion.
Well,
Have a great day.
We're always happy to serve every
I don't know how you live with yourself and work here. I don't understand it. This is a horrible corporation with horrible values.
We're here to
you
serve
deserve
you
better.
in any way that you need.
You deserve.
Dude, she's being so nice and patient with this guy. We're here to serve you any way that you need. Like, she's being so patient and nice. I feel so bad for this girl. Now, the guys that claim that they want to be treated equally and treated fairly and treated nicely, I support that. I can understand that. You're a human being. I'm not saying that. But when you do things like this, it does not help or support your cause. It does not support your cause.
Better. Rachel deserves better. Okay?
I hope you have a really nice day.
I will. I just did something really good. I feel purposeful. Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
Okay.
The guy went out and said he feels purposeful. I mean, it's just, that really upset me. I don't even know. I shouldn't even played that video because it's so ignorant. But poor girl, and kudos to Chick-fil-A and all that they do. Great company. I will spend my money there over 100 times. I mean, what do you, I don't know. I can't keep rambling on about it because I'll just get upset thinking about it. But kudos to her for keeping her cool, and I definitely say Chick-fil-A is great. So this is kind of an older video. We got just a couple of more clips here, and then we'll call it quits for the night. And thank you guys for tuning in. But just a quick video here. This was a huge gaffe. Everybody likes gaffes on the internet, but this woman was talking about Bloomberg's money that he spent on ads. Check this goof out. See if y'all catch it. I don't want to, well, we'll see. I will see if y'all catch it first. I'll see. Let's see if we can play the audio.
Tonight on social media,
I'll back it up.
Got it. Let's put it up on the screen. When I read it tonight on social media, it kind of all became clear. Bloomberg spent $500 million on ads. U.S. population 327 million. Don't tell us if you're ahead of us on the math. He could have given each American one.
I'm ahead of you, buddy. But I don't know that you are.
$1 million and have had lunch money left over. It's an incredible way of putting it.
It's an incredible way of putting it. It's true. It's disturbing. It does.
So I just want to back this up just a little bit. Just a little bit to the tweet. So it's the U.S. population is 327 million. He could have given each American 1 million and still have money left over. I feel like a $1 million check would be life-changing for most people, yet he's wasted all on ads and still lost. First off, I can't believe this was on TV. And they didn't pull out a calculator, do a little math. If you actually break it down, I believe it comes out. I didn't break out my calculator, but I believe it comes out to about $20, give or take. $20, not $1 million, but I couldn't believe they goofed this on TV.
It's an incredible way of putting it. It's true. It's disturbing. It does suggest, what we're talking about here.
Editorial board member from the New York Times, Mara Gray. Just want to throw that out there.
Which is there's too much money in politics. And it makes it difficult because what we want in politics, the point is to have competition. And the point is to have the best candidates and have people from all backgrounds be able to run. It's an incredible way.
Yeah, so that's just crazy goof here. Let me see if I can bring up the calculator. Let's just do the math here real quickly, just out of curiosity. I'll see if I can. So he spent $500 million on ads. 500. That's 500,000. That's 5 million. 50 million. 500 million is what they're saying. Now you want to divide that by 327 million Americans. Wow, I hit 327. Wow. But we'll go with 327. Or there we go. All right, perfect. Okay, so I wasn't even close. I said $20. It comes out to $1.52. $1.52. And these people are, oh man, I don't know how they goofed that. I know this may be kind of old, Bloomberg dropped out of the race, he's gone, but it would have equaled out to $1.52. It wouldn't have changed nobody's life. So, not a Mike Bloomberg fan, but I just thought it was a crazy goof on their part. So we're coming up on the end of the show here. Brian Garrett says, I was at a Chick-fil-A today and took all the toilet paper out of their men's room. I don't condone that, sir. I don't condone that. However, if you guys remember, I know this is kind of a little bit off topic and out of the way, but the last two episodes we've ended the video with a flat earther. So I thought, what better way to end today's episode with keeping the momentum going? There's a guy, the same guy. It's funny because this is the same gentleman who we watched last week who went to the child's playground and
he just
went to the playground and was harassing the kids about the flat earth and saying, oh, the flat earth is not real. You're not moving through space and all. Oh gosh, it was just, you can check out last week's episode and catch that at the end of the podcast. But the same guy here is back at it again. Now this video has made its rounds. It's definitely been circulating, but this is from August 12th of 2019 is when this was a re-upload. This is from the same guy though that was in last week's video. But check this out.
Son, so I teach you, son. I am the one that teach. Call me 10 wins.
Flat Earth clown stuff.
Pardon me? All right, guys. I'm here with a real NASA employee. Legit NASA employee. And I asked him, I said, astronauts have almost died in space.
So he's at a Starbucks. He asked the employee, NASA employee, alleged NASA employee. I didn't see the guy's identification, but...
They got water in their suit and they almost drowned. And he said it was because of saliva. This guy right here, hold on, I'm gonna wait for him to get at the front of the line. And then I'm gonna ask him some more questions. There's a real NASA employee right here. Hey, my man, sir. Just the spacewalk.
So they're at a Starbucks. He's harassing this NASA employee about why the astronauts had almost drowned in space, and apparently they were choking on their saliva. Now, I don't know why that's a shock to this guy. Sometimes I'm sitting on the couch and I accidentally choke on my saliva, and I'm not even in space. So it could definitely happen in space. I mean, also, if you've seen the videos of space with water, it kind of moves around and it doesn't really stick to anything. So
he won't talk to me.
So I wouldn't talk to you either, buddy.
Look, he was all nice. He gave me NASA cartoon freaking emblems.
NASA cartoon emblem. Great.
Now he won't talk to me.
Because you're harassing him at the Starbucks. He just wants his coffee.
He won't talk to me at all. Sir, just tell him why they almost drowned in space. Please.
Have a nice day, okay?
Come on. You won't even chat with me? Nope. You hate Americans? Is that it?
Excuse.
See, he crossed the line. This flat earth shit is getting out of hand.
Me? Hey, bro.
Yeah?
How the hell did you get that? Don't ever accuse me of that again.
Well, hey, I'm just curious. If you want to chat with me and answer my question.
I don't have to chat with you.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Step
true.
over there, okay? I'm done.
You're not the boss of me, bro. I'll leave because you asked me to. It's fine.
All right, cool.
But this NASA's a fraud, bro.
All right.
They lie about everything.
Just kind of enjoy yourself.
That's cool. I was just trying to ask questions.
He said to the employee, I don't know if you guys could hear it. He said, just try and enjoy yourself. He's like, just, please leave. Just try and enjoy yourself, okay? Like, come on, relax.
Yeah. Well, I just got kicked out of Starbucks for asking NASA employee questions because he's lying. He's a...
You don't know that.
Blatant liar. What a joke that was. Now we're outside. Beautiful America. Man, that was ridiculous. I got NASA freaking stickers from the NASA employee.
Congratulations, bud. Like, doesn't make any sense to me.
Hey, guys. And then I start asking him questions, and he tells me to go outside of Starbucks. I'm freaking shaking. I am shaking. I can't believe that just happened. Oh, my Lord. Thank you, Jesus. That was amazing. Woo!
He's acting like he just stumbled upon a treasure. Or he's Sherlock Holmes and just solved a murder case or something. Like, he's acting like he's just, and it doesn't make sense to me. It makes no sense. Like, this guy, and this is the same guy from last week's video who was harassing all the kids at school. Just, it's silly.
Woo! I just met a NASA employee, guys, and he got me kicked out of Starbucks for asking him questions about astronauts almost dying in space.
And you got yourself kicked out.
I said, how come astronauts choke on how come they're almost drowning in space? You know what he said? He said, because they almost couldn't swallow their saliva.
Makes sense.
Astronauts aren't trained how to swallow their saliva?
This guy's full idiot. Full idiot. Jamie Curry that says, yeah, just got flat smacked. Yeah, no. Just so dumb. That's the same guy.
In space? Give me a freaking break, dude. Give me a break. I'm getting out of here before the police show up. I love you guys.
I'm getting out of here before the police show up. He did get arrested for rolling up on those kids. I don't think an arrest was made for this particular event. Now, I had another video I was going to go into, but I'm not going to take up any more time. I want to keep the podcast to about an hour. We're about 10 minutes over. But definitely want to say apologize for the delayed start today. But ultimately, we got it going. I appreciate you guys for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed the show today. I know it's kind of like the coronavirus everybody's just worn down with it. Next week, though, the show will be awesome. We're going to have some new graphics, new overlays. Hopefully, the curtain behind me will be totally different. It won't be a curtain. I'll actually have something a little bit better for you guys, I think. I'm really looking forward to next week's show. I'm going to put together some great material. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's all I got for you guys. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. That's it. I enjoy you guys stopping by tonight. We'll be back next Monday, and you have a great evening. Thank you so much for joining the show. K2 Podcast.